Hi guys, this is Prateek, and today I'm making this video because I had to choose one of my favorite topics in macroeconomics. So my favorite topic is international trade. So I'm making this a short. This is a short video on. Basically, I'm going to talk about what is international trade, why is it so important in countries, and why most of the countries are using it. So what are the advantages and disadvantages of international? Basically, I'm talking about the advantages. Uh, so what is trade? Basically, what main question is what is trade? So trade is simply an exchange of goods and services between two people or two entities so that they can satisfy their own needs. International trade occurs as exchange of goods, services, and resources between international bodies or territories, basically in with different nations. So why international trade is so important? Countries exchange their goods so they can satisfy their own needs. For example, if a country lacks a resource, but the country has a resource that the other country needs, they can produce a surplus so that they can exchange the surplus with the resource they need from the other country. So that's how the international trade works. And international trade has been going on with as the starting of civilization. For example, how the Britishers, when the Britishers conquered India, they were they were trading. First, they came for trading, and then the stuff happened. Then they took divided the people. But that's a different story. That's history. But the main concept was trade. They came to India to trade spices, different kind of for clothing, cotton, etc. So that established a trade for Britishers in India. That was important because India also needed jobs. People were paid to make these clothes. So that's one of the other important advantages of trade because it offers jobs to so many people. So now I'm going to talk about the two advantages of international trade. One is an absolute advantage, and second one is a competitive advantage. What is absolute advantage? Absolute advantage in a country exists in a country where one country can produce a larger amount of resource than another country. For example, in the case of United States can produce twice as much as beef as and five times as much as guitar than Canada. And I'm not saying that Canada is incapable or inefficient of producing these goods. The main thing is that they lack the resources to make these goods than United States. But that does not mean that Canada is at a disadvantage and it cannot produce anything. That's where the competitive advantage comes into play. In a competitive advantage, both of the countries benefit from each other. Competitive advantages exist when the opportunity cost is lower of the country is lower than that of the another country. For example, in the case of United States and Canada, Canada has a competitive advantage of in producing cattle. So, and for the U.S. to produce 1 million cows, it has an opportunity cost of 1 million guitars. That means one cow has an opportunity cost of one guitar, one whole guitar. Whereas if Canada wants to produce 2.5, whereas the Canada can produce 2.5 more cows by only using 0.4 guitars. That means 2.5 cows is equal to 0.4 guitars. That means the 0.4 guitars is the opportunity cost for these 2.5 more cows. But so that was the comparative advantage of Canada. In the United States, the comparative advantage of is the guitar. If the United States wants to produce 1 million guitar, they only have the opportunity cost of one cow per guitar. But whereas in Canada, it's 2.5 cows to produce one guitar. So that's how trade works. Both countries have advantages and disadvantages, but in a way, they they benefit from each other. If one country needs something, they can produce a surplus and they can exchange the surplus for their goods. That's why international trade is happening in all over the world. because of that, so many jobs are offered, so many people are coming into the another countries to experience, and so many opportunities are opening for because of international trade. International trade has connected different countries that have never been connected to each other, and the only means is trade. So that's why that is my very important concept and very interesting topic in macroeconomics, and that's why it's my favorite. So I hope you like this video, and thank you, Professor Luana, for this project. And I'm very happy to make this video. Thank you.